Hi everybody, it's Rick here with Musicians Edition, and we are on page 11 in the Standard of Excellence Tenor Saxophone Music Instruction Book. So today's page 11, starts with key signature at the top of the page. I'm not going to talk too much about this yet because it does not yet apply to the tenor saxophone. A key signature will be certain flats or sharps shown at the beginning of a piece of music that change the notes within that piece of music, but we don't have a key signature yet for the tenor saxophone. Exercise number 36, I should say, has a new note, but it's not a new note. It's actually the first note we learned back on the very first page in the very first lesson. B, played with the first finger of the left hand. And so we already know that note. It is written on the middle line of the staff and will be used in the exercises on page 11. The first one is called Mark Time. Another thing that I would like to begin doing more of is counting the rhythms. We've done a little bit of that. There were some rhythms we wrote in on page 10. And you always do have the option of writing in the counting before you play. And so if you'd like to do that, you may. When I count a rhythm out loud, I like to count the rhythm as it would be played or as it would sound if you were playing it. So instead of counting every single beat, I encourage you to count the numbers out loud where a note would begin. So if you're looking at the first measure of this exercise, there are two half notes. The first one begins on beat 1, the second one begins on beat 3. So if I were counting this, I would count 1, 3. That lets you know where the notes begin. In measure 2, there's a half note on beat 1, and then quarter notes on beat 3 and 4. So the counting would be 1, 3, 4. In the third measure, we have 4 quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the fourth measure, we have a half note tied to a quarter note. So there's a note on beat 1 and there's a note on beat 3. But because of the tie, the note on beat 3 is part of the note that starts on beat 1. So instead of 2 separate notes, we have one longer note. That note will get 3 beats. So in that measure, I would just count beat 1. That's where the note begins. There is a rest on beat 4. Let me give you an example of how this would go. I will turn on the metronome and I will count it out loud. One, two, ready, begin. 1, 3. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. Another way to prepare for this song to begin would be to say the note names out loud. And if you do say the note names out loud, I would encourage you to do that along with the rhythm. Let me give you an example. 1, 2, ready, go. C, B, C, B, B. C, D, C, B, C. C, C, B, B, C, C, D. C, B, C, D, C. And you are welcome to do these exercises if you think they will help. If you don't need to do that and you can jump right into playing these, you feel free to do that. All right, that does take us to playing this exercise. So if we've said the counting out loud and we've said the note names out loud, we should be prepared. Another thing you can do to practice this would be to just do the fingerings without playing for the notes. And if you do this, I would again encourage you to do it with the metronome and do it along with the rhythm that you would be playing it. So C, B, and you can say the note names out loud as you do the fingerings. That's another good way to practice these. But here's how number 36 would sound. Hopefully you're ready to play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last note has a fermata or a hold over it, so remember to hold it longer than the 4 beats that would be indicated, but however long you hold it is up to you. I hear a little bit of a waver. I do have a ceiling fan running, so just letting you know that's why you might hear that. It is really hot here today. All right, number 37 is a round. So a round is when 2 or more people are playing a piece of music and the 2 separate parts, whether it's one person or a group, the 2 groups start at different times. So if you're playing this in a round, the first person would start at the beginning of the song and play it straight through. The second person would begin at the beginning of the song, but would begin at the beginning of the song when the first person gets to where the number 2 is, which is halfway through the song. And if you do that, it'll sound nice and you can play together, and that's the way it's designed to be. But first of all, you need to learn the whole song. So you may do the counting out loud like we did on number 37. You can also say the note names out loud. Again, I encourage you not to write the note names in. You can write in the counting if you want to, always in pencil. Always use a pencil when you're writing music, so it's easily erased. But let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and play that. So here's number 37. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, if you would like to do this in a round, go ahead and play what you just heard me play that back. And when I get to where the number 2 is, start at the beginning and play it all the way through. When you do that, we will be playing 4 measures together, and then you would continue on after I stop because you would have 4 more measures to play. Okay? Number 38 is called Marianne, and at the beginning it says solo or soli, and in the 5th measure it says tutti. Solo or soli, solo means one person plays, solo means a small group plays. Tutti means everyone plays. This is not designed for individual playing. This is designed for a big group or a band that would be working on these selections together. And so the solo, soli, and tutti will not apply to you playing by yourself or playing with me. All right, before we play this all the way through, I will be saying the note names out loud to the song in rhythm, and so I will get the metronome going. All right, so we're saying the note names out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, G, C, E, E, D, F. The metronome lost a couple beats, so I'm going to start over. But since I did stop, I did want to call your attention to measures 3 and 4. There is an F tied over the bar line to another F. Remember, that is going to be one long note for a total of 4 counts. But it's beats 3 and 4 of the third measure and beats 1 and 2 of the fourth measure. All right, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, G, C, E, E, D, F. D, F, F, B, D, D, C, E. Now line 2. E, E, G, G, C, E, 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 D, F. D, F, F, B, D, D, C, C. And now we will play number 38. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I lost a few metronome beats again. I don't know why it's starting and stopping, but anyway, I just kept right on going and tried to keep the beats steady. Number 39, Crusaders March, uses notes from C all the way up to A. There is a repeat sign at the end of this song, meaning, as a reminder, go back to the beginning and play it again. So, here we go. This is number 39. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is balance the scales, just writing in notes or rests to balance the scales. So if 2 beats are given, you need to add 2 beats. If 1 beat is given, you need to add 1 beat. And that can be notes or rests. And then number 41, notice that the time signature has changed from 4/4 to 2/4. So 2 beats and a measure. It's a 2-line song. Make sure you catch that. And by the way, remember to take breaths where the commas are. Remember, those are breath marks. And try to avoid breathing somewhere else other than where the breath marks are. If you're working a song out slowly, you may not be able to do that. You may need to breathe more often. If you do, go ahead and do that. But as you work on a song and get better at it, you can try to speed it up, and then that will help you get from one breath mark to the next. So, we'll see if the metronome will keep going this time. All right, here we go. Beginning of 41. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, good luck on page 11. I hope you do well. And remember to play back and watch back things to go over them so that you can play them very well. I'll see you next time.